But I don't have total proof in the pudding. But we're gonna try it, so.
Not total proof in the pudding?
In my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home far away.
Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And today it's all about the loofah.
Time.
It is time. We've been waiting all year to show you all this.
Yep.
Man, what an adventure. But today we are gonna walk through planting, how many,
Yep.
the length, how long it takes for a fruit to pop up.
How hard it is.
More patience than anything. And then also, once it's time to harvest, what in the world you do with it?
Yep.
So we're gonna walk you through every single step today, right?
Do it.
Let's do it.
So this beautiful greenhouse is where we started our loofah seeds.
Yep, our cattle
In what month?
March? February. February or
I think it
March.
was February.
I believe it was February as well, because we knew how long it took to go, so it was February.
So I heard about loofahs, I don't even know where. I can't remember where I heard about loofahs. It might have just been through searching through seeds online or in a catalog or something, but I thought it was the neatest thing ever, so I did a little research on them, and then I decided that we were gonna order some seeds because I wanted to grow some.
Sure did blow my mind. I was like, what in the world is a loofah?
Never thought it would actually work. I had my doubts for a while.
Maybe for people telling what a loofah is, because I didn't know.
So a loofah gourd is what you use in the shower. You know, the sponges that you use, you put your soap on and you lather yourself up.
Usually comes on a stick.
Yeah, well, it can be a stick or a round thing. I have a round one. But that's what you use in the shower, and for some reason a lot of people think that they grow it in the sea. I don't know why. I guess because of the texture and the way that they look.
Yeah,
but they don't. They grow on a vine. They can grow right in your backyard. You can use them for yourself, or you can sell them, you can give them away, whatever.
They're edible.
Yeah, they are edible if they're in the vegetable state. They taste like zucchini, people say.
Yep.
We did not try that. We could have, but we had so much zucchini that we just didn't even think about it.
Right.
But I got the seeds, and I heard all these tales about how hard it is to get them to germinate, first of all. And if you do get them to germinate, it's hard to keep them alive, and then transplanting them is a whole other story. So a lot of people direct sow, but obviously in February I couldn't direct sow. So I started them in those little brown pots. So I don't have one of the actual pots, but I have these, and it was a lot like these. These are the little peat pots, or whatever you want to call them.
Which people don't like these either.
Yeah.
We're not the biggest fans of them, but this spring is what we had.
But it was a cup, and it was pretty round, like this. That was the diameter. And I did that because they don't like to be transplanted. So when I started it in that biodegradable cup, I could put that straight into the garden bed when I was ready to transplant it. It's not really transplanting because you're not moving a seedling from one spot to another. You're just putting the biodegradable cup into the ground, or the soil, and then the cup biodegrades, and the seedling is still there. You don't damage the roots, you don't disturb them or move them in any way.
Instead of those pots, we use the grow bags now.
Yeah.
So same concept. This is biodegradable, which we put stuff in there for an entire year and it didn't biodegrade. However, the roots come out easy and just fine. So this is what we use now instead of those pots. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I put those little pots into the garden beds, and then the loofahs took off. A lot of people said, what was it? Two.
It was two.
2 seeds that I started, and the loofahs went crazy. I gave a lot of them away. I don't know whatever came about with those. I don't know if they grew them or whatnot, but so yeah, we put them straight into the soil, and a lot of people said, well, they're probably gonna die because they're finicky. I thought they would die. I thought they wouldn't like the back and forth because it was spring. Sometimes it was cold, sometimes it was warm. You never knew what you were gonna get. But they took off, and we put one cattle panel trellis onto our raised bed, so it was over like this.
Which we'll show you in a minute.
Just like our greenhouse is. And they took a while to get big enough to attach, probably 2 months.
I don't know, maybe we'll say a month.
Yeah, I mean, they were just little seedlings, but they finally found the trellis, and we helped them, and we had to kind of train it to get it to attach. But it finally did, and once it did, it went crazy. It just went nuts, and we'll go out there and look at it and show you. All right, so now leaving the greenhouse. And a lot of you have seen this, but a lot of you are also new, so you haven't seen the loofahs. And if you're, you know, searching for how to do loofahs, this will tell you everything you need to know. So I'm gonna turn you around. So this is the cattle panel, which was our trellis that they grew up and over. It's not as pretty as it was in its glory day because we have had a light frost and it killed the top, as you can see. But the loofah itself is still fine. The bottom leaves are fine, and all the immature LOOFAH Gourds that are hanging are fine too. So I'll show you where I planted them. That was right here. So I put that cup into here, and there's 2 of them. The other one's over there where Zach is. And like I said, we kind of trained it to attach to the trellis, but after it did, it just went absolutely nuts. And we have another trellis over there, which was Chinese red noodle beans. We grew those up that side, but we ended up being done with them, and then the loofah decided to take over that whole other trellis. So I've seen a lot of people's that's a lot bigger, but this is what ours did. And we have all kinds of fruit. We can count them. I've already cut 3 because they were mature and they were ready. How many?
About 25.
25. So from 2 plants, I grew 25 LOOFAH Gourds. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's heavy, as you can see, the cattle panel is leaning. But it was so pretty in the summer when it was full. I mean, we even invited people to come get married because it was so pretty. It was gorgeous.
So a couple things to remember about loofahs. So if you do all the things that Jen just said, there's a couple things to keep in mind so you don't freak out and like, man, my loofahs are just not working, because we did the same thing. We had this entire trellis 100% covered and 0 fruit in June.
Yeah.
And then even it rolled over into July as well. No fruit, just vines everywhere.
And flowers everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, probably thousands of flowers. And they were being pollinated. We saw the bees were out here every single morning and night, and they were just going crazy all over them. So we started to get really worried. We were like, you know, this isn't gonna work. Something's not working here.
Right. But it's not. Loofahs take forever.
Forever.
It's a February to October kind of plant to fully get us thing.
And it's mid-October, and some of these are
just starting.
They're still squishy and green. So like you could probably eat this right now because it's new. So it's mid-October, and some of these aren't even close to being ready.
Right, so what we're doing is, like she said, she's got 3 taken off. She's gonna show you how to process those because they're 100% dry. And they go through different stages, like she mentioned. So you have young, and you can kind of tell that with the light little green spots on them. And then you move from this smooth, no lumps, to a much more rugged one. And it's very firm to the touch. So that's your next stage.
And then you move to yellow. So it starts to turn yellow, and it's crunchy. I don't know. Hopefully you can hear that. But it's getting crunchy because the LOOFAH Gourd inside is drying. It's not all the way dry yet, but it's on its way. So once it gets to this stage, some people actually pick them when they're yellow. I didn't. I let mine go to the final stage, which I'll show you here in a minute. But if you are expecting a frost, a hard frost, because we have had a frost, but it was a light frost and everything's fine. So if you're expecting a hard frost, you can cut them off and you can dry them inside or in a covered porch if you have something like that, or a greenhouse. But if you don't have anything like that, you can take them right inside, hang them up by the vines.
Yep.
If you're gonna cut them early, I would probably leave about 6 to 7 inches of the vine and hang them up, kind of like you would onions to cure, and then they can dry right there like that. I haven't personally tried that yet, but I know a lot of people have, so I'm hoping that's it. I mean, I'm sure it'll be okay, but
It's like drying an herb, so I wouldn't see any issue into it.
Yeah, but I don't have total proof in the pudding. But we're gonna try it, so.
Not total proof in the pudding?
All right, so then we'll show you the last
final stage.
So this is the final stage. It is brown, and it's almost like leathery, and it's completely dry. It's crispy, you can hear it. And you can hear all the seeds in there rattling around. Hopefully you can too. Hopefully the mic is picking it up. So I have 3 that are in this state. They're both in the same exact shape. So they're completely mature. And the 3rd one, I've already taken the skin off, which came off really easily. I just basically peeled it off. It's really kind of satisfying when you do it. But it came off really easily. And now I have an entire bowl of loofah seeds. So there's still some seeds in here. It needs to dry a little bit more. When you do open them, they're still a little bit wet on the inside. I think it's just the way that they protect themselves. So this is gonna dry completely, and then I'll be able to get the rest of the seeds out. But I'm gonna open these other ones and see if possibly they were a little bit drier. And I mean, how many seeds do you think that is?
400, 300?
400, 300, and there's probably 200 still left in here, maybe 100. So that's a lot of loofah seeds from one loofah gourd,
yep.
Which is exciting because I know a lot of them sold out from M.I. Gardner and Baker Creek. I'm pretty sure they're back in stock now because it's fall. But in the spring, I'm gonna give these away this fall, but that means come spring when everybody else is sold out, all my little family and friends and all of you that are coming to like the harvest celebration and stuff like that will have these loofah seeds that you can grow too. And we can chat about it because at that time I should be almost a pro and hopefully I can help you along the way. But
you're already a pro.
All right, so let's open this up. Look at that!
Loofahs!
So exciting! Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how cool it is to see these and know what they are. And they're, I don't know, the texture is exactly what you think it would be.
Exactly like a loofah.
I mean, the seeds are easy to get out as long as they're completely dry. They have to be completely dry.
Yeah. What we kind of did was just, I kind of banged it to loosen them up and just kind of protect them from the hole.
We may or may not have loofahs growing all over our yard next year.
But even then, look at the amount of seeds it got.
So many seeds.
Out of 3 loofahs.
Oh, I can't wait to share these. So another thing you can do, which you pretty much want to do anyway, unless you're going to leave them whole. I guess you could. I guess you could string some soap through them somehow.
Some people do, and I've seen actually some that have like rope hanging out this end and that end, so it kind of works as like a back thing too, to where you can get them. So you have all kinds of options on how you do them.
Yeah. And I guess if you had like a whole lot, that would be good, but I'm wanting to give a lot of these away for like Christmas presents and stuff, so I'm gonna cut them into little bitty chunks, and then you can stuff homemade soap in there, or you know, if you have somebody that makes homemade soap, or you have a local shop or whatever, you can stuff that in there, and it's gonna be the coolest thing ever to give to people and to give them that story, because it's gonna blow their minds. They're gonna be like, what, you grew a loofah gourd?
I thought those things came from the ocean.
Yeah. So it's crazy, but you do, it's an option, but in order to keep fungi and bacteria and stuff like that from growing, you can soak these in a bleach water solution. It's 4 tablespoons of bleach to 1 gallon of water, and you can soak them to get, you know, make sure that you don't get any kinds of growth and stuff that you don't want to.
Right.
Oh, also people use these for washing dishes.
Yes.
They had to put their soap in there and they use them for scrubbing and stuff like that. I mean,
anything that you're gonna use soap to clean with, this is now your new rag.
Crazy.
Your wash rag.
Yeah. So I have 25 loofahs, so that's gonna give me a whole lot to give away. And I can stash them and keep them, you know, for myself for when we run out at our own house.
Yep, and so I would give, to me, a few rules to really try to abide by. One, patience.
Yeah.
If you're growing loofah, you gotta have patience with it. We've learned that throughout this experience. The second one is, don't pull them too soon.
Yep.
Some people like to take them when they're yellow and a little young, and yes, it's okay. But you're gonna have a whole lot harder time getting that skin off. You're gonna have a whole lot harder time getting those seeds out. So it's okay to hang back, let them get brown.
Yep.
And then the third one is, I think we highly suggest probably doing the bleach water.
Yeah.
Just because they won't last near as long.
Now, after you do the bleach water, make sure you clean them really well. You rinse them with very clean water and make sure you get, you know, all that bleach out of there.
And then let them sit out in the sun or hang them to dry completely. And then you're ready to use a loofah.
Yep.
So that's some of the real key factors there.
Oh, you okay?
Oh, Raylan fell in the tilt garden. And then the other pieces, make sure you have plenty of room to grow it. Ours ended up taking two 16-foot cattle panels to grow 2 plants.
Yeah.
So even though they look small and you think it's not gonna produce a lot, 2 plants produced 25 loofahs and took over 2 16-foot cattle panels.
And start them early.
Very.
Start them inside if you have to. If it's too early when you want to and you know it's still frost and cold outside, start them indoors. You can get super cheap grow lights from Walmart. It's just your regular shop lights, and I'm gonna do a whole video on that. But you know, start them indoors, give yourself that time because they have to have time. We started ours in February and it took to the end of October almost to get loofah gourds.
And you know how people like talk about pepper plants, how long they take?
Yeah.
Pepper plants have nothing on a loofah.
No.
So if you think your pepper plants take a while, double your time for these. Ray over here running that tilt garden again. So is that about it for the loofahs?
Yeah.
Is that the whole lineup? Yeah. So after this stage, bleach water, which she just gave you that ingredients, rinse real well, and then hang inside your house. Look, more seeds are falling out.
Yep.
Hang inside your house to dry, or if you have nice weather, put them outside on a picnic table and just let them sun dry, or stick them in a greenhouse. So you want them to fully dry and make sure none of that bleach water has stayed in there. And then you're ready to do as you please with your awesome loofahs.
So exciting.
Man, that's all spider.
Definitely gonna grow them next year. Even though I said I wouldn't, I will, because the end result is so rewarding and it's just the coolest thing ever. So got more seeds coming out.
That's right.
Yeah,
so we hope you really enjoyed this loofah. If you've been following us, you've seen this play out throughout the entire year. You've heard us complain of the loofahs, then you heard us rejoice the loofahs when we finally saw fruit, and now here we are with loofahs.
Yep.
So, you know, I think even though we've told you it takes a while, you won't truly know till you grow them yourself. So don't fear it. There's a lot of things out there that say they're hard to grow. They're not. It just takes patience, and make sure you give yourself plenty of time. But I think that's about it for this one.
I think so.
I hope you all enjoyed. If you're new and you were just searching loofahs and you found us, hit that subscribe button. We do all kinds of gardening videos, more things than just loofahs. Give us a check out, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the like.
Come back for more. We'll
That's
be
right.
here.
All right, y'all.
We love you.
Until the next one.
Bye.
Bye.